Там еще неудобно, типа, вот эти двойные пистолеты на 7, блядь.
А, так их можно было переключать оружие?
Да.
А мне каждый раз нового давали, я с ним играл, я с двумя пистолетами все прошел, по-моему.
Не-не-не, там единичка. Вот это соло-пистолет, соло-череп. Тройка дробовик. 7 дабл эти. Ладно,
да, они пока сейчас будут разгоняться.
Ну да, и там еще на какую-то кнопку мечи.
А, меч еще был, точно.
Да, а на кьюшку быстрое переключение предыдущего оружия.
Интересно, когда у Nvidia будет презентация своя? Наверное, в августе.
And now you may remember the last time you saw me on this show. Things ended quite literally explosively.
Yeah.
There was a robot who tried to destroy the human race, electrocuted me. I think I died.
Definitely died.
Either way, I'm not really sure it was standard robot-apocalyptic stuff.
Да, вроде был.
Ну да, а там они представили эти новые процы. Что типа будет
Well, he's dead. We melted him down to try to make our own graphics cards since they're still hard to find.
Что-то было.
I would say he's in a better place, but I played Cyberpunk 2077 and he's not.
Ooh, that's pretty dark for the start of the show.
Or
Просто с Nvidia все понятно, накинут 15%, скажут, блядь, все, 40-90, 200 тысяч рублей.
According to the writers, he told me this 5 minutes before we went live.
Поэтому нет, это поколение мы пропустим. Будем 5-е брать.
А я вот наоборот.
Ну ты там это,
Да.
за каждый процент.
Нет, так я-то на 28 сижу.
Все понял.
Да. Да, вот я каждые 2 беру, а ты... Ой, я каждые 2, вот ты каждые 2
типа.
Да. Но чередование разное.
Немного не попали, да.
Так, что это?
Ну да, тогда все, ебало валют, тогда красавчик.
Если ночь достанется. С прикуп. Так, это... Кого? Что? Еще не посмотрел, сколько на IT будет. Ну, наверное, тоже часик-полтора.
Ой, и тут метальчик.
По-моему, ее показывали вчера.
As long as we are together, we're not going down. They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one. No! You must resist it!
Солстас. Солнцестояние.
Это показывали?
По-моему, показывал. Вот у меня лапа с дверью закрыла. Сука, открылся. Регистрировал. А это что вообще? Это соус-лайк, что-то там? Я что-то пропустил.
Ну да.
Клей. Убита мама. Они возвращаются в моду, прикольно.
Так, если честно, ну типа на чувстве ностальгии, там какие-нибудь черепашки ниндзя, да. Может, что-нибудь новое, ну не знаю. Мне что-то как-то не особо.
Да, они все в основном видно.
Да, да.
Там уж какую-нибудь дополнительную механику добавить, типа за карточных, может какая-то хуйня или еще что-то. А так это битэмап. Ты, сука, ёбаная лапа. Щупальца.
Мобилка, что ли?
Ну, на пока. Что-то громко, нахуй.
Косикря.
Да? Сейчас я сбалую тебя. Tactical Wizard. Прикольно.
You just saw Tactical Breach Wizards, a turn-based game of sorcery and SWAT team strategy.
О, у
from
нее
the
сзади
makers of
стоит
Gunpoint
единорог
Games.
из Team Fortress.
My strategy, personally, is
Надувной,
pretty
надувнорог.
simple. Breach, bang,
Я тоже такого
clear,
хотел
magic
купить,
missile,
не нашел.
dramatic flourish, abra,
Это у
cadaver.
этого, как его, у
Get it?
Байера.
О, да, у Пайроса. Я на нем катаюсь вот на таунде.
Next, we have a solution to the age-old problem of not having time to read and play video
Когда, помнишь,
games.
этот комикс
Just
сделал,
do
у
both
него
at the same
порвался.
time, obviously.
Он к
Star
медику
Wars
пришел.
Industries has you
Тот
covered
его
with their
надул, блядь,
sci-fi
заклеил
thriller
пластырем.
inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel.
Нет, подожди.
Invincible.
Я тебе ВК
So here's
кидал.
your first look at the first
Да,
ever
что я
gameplay
забыл
footage.
уже.
Да-да, я тебе ВК кидал.
А я что-нибудь ответил на это?
Да.
Значит, забыл просто.
You. What have you done?
О, Invincible. Это Invincible. Это про Станислава Лема, который...
Where are you taking
Ну,
me?
в смысле, по роману
You
его.
came here yourself. So what are you expecting, huh?
Это что-то интересное должно быть.
Set up a field camp down there. Yes, ma'am. So I didn't expect you to have a second one here.
Sit here and don't you dare move.
Вряд ли она в этом году выйдет.
You're not gonna like this part.
Геймплей шоукейс. Early бета. О, не, в этом году не выйдет, блядь.
The radiation level is growing rapidly. It's starting to get interesting.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Doctor.
Вот это вот QTE. Анимация, я не люблю такое. Где чел ползет, забирается на лестнице, и тебе нужно нажать кнопку, чтобы вылезти, например. И он замирает так в одной позе.
Another one.
Очень immersive
How
порт.
many of those did they... Is it active?
Dead.
I admire your composure.
Wait, someone's here. Astrogator, they're dead.
So you found someone. Fortunately, such unpleasant discoveries are indispensable.
ППС.
I didn't let that thought get to me. I was counting on this meeting very much. At worst, it could have been another abandoned place, but not this.
But what exactly?
That's a good question. I'm getting into the recorder. What do we have here? Uh-huh. They made their way through with a beam of antimatter.
How subtle. Did you locate this passage?
Рисунок просто. Не нарисовали.
I'm looking at it now. They pierced a hole several meters in diameter and several dozen meters long.
Yasna, do you hear me?
Yes.
А, я Ясно зовут, точно.
My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Я Ясно посмеялся еще.
Ясно.
Да.
Can you continue?
Yes. I'm better now. Actually, there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of metal bushes that were near our camp. The lower parts of the bushes are, how to put it, fruitless.
So they came to pick the fruits.
This robot looks like it has started its task and got stuck.
What task?
This is one of the robots carrying containers with research material. It took the container, but never left that place.
And why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles using the same path. The robot's gone,
You must have broken his loop.
but I didn't.
No, he must have done something. Never mind. Follow it.
Ой, сейчас что-то будет. С робота сожрут, я тебе говорю.
Fuck! It's getting up!
What, a
Ой.
robot?
No! Antimat!
Come on, Yasna. Run. Hide. Yasna, are you
Частички неплохие.
Yes, it's fucked up the robot.
What's it doing now?
Going fucked up me.
Take care of
Прикольно.
our people, Novik.
23, новый очевидно.
It's time to take a pit stop at the nearest dungeon to prove that chivalry isn't dead. And if you think I emphasize those words weirdly, you're right. And it'll all make sense momentarily when you see these next 4 games, especially when you hear from our friends at Tripwire Interactive. Roll that beautiful footage.
Сега.
You don't have what it takes. You'll
Только
be
не Соник,
back
блядь.
too scared to try again. Cause the dungeon will turn you into lunch meat. Unless you're way tougher than you look. We got the guns,
Уж этот.
the turrets, the upgrades. But what you really need is guts and skills. Grab your posse and say your prayers.
Мягко.
Be the first to play. To die. To give your feedback. Do you have what it takes?
Atomic Heart, кстати, в этом году выходит, судя по Xbox-овской вот это вот этому вот как эта хуйня называется, где они все в одном месте показывают, блядь. Калаш. Вот в сентябре, октябре или ноябре, наверное, в октябре.
Имеешь вот это вот геймпасс?
Геймпасс что?
Ну, калаш, игр, которые в Game Pass выйдут?
Нет, там, по-моему, они говорили, что типа вот в 22-м будут вот эти, в 23-м вот эти. И там будет типа, сколько там, 12 игр тут, 12 там. И вот Atomic Heart был в 22-м. По-моему, это просто игры, которые будут типа в течение года. Значит, у них все хорошо. Сталкер 23 в принципе, ну это ожидаемо. А что это такое вообще?
Between race weekends, you'll control
Формула
every
1?
detail of your team from your state-of-the-art headquarters. Hire best-in-class staff to work across your aerodynamics and engineering teams and put them to the task to develop your car.
Я хочу увидеть новую игрушку от разработчиков этого Wreckfest, ну, Flatout. Что-то у них крутое будет. Вряд ли что-то на Flatout похожее, но тем не менее. Они умеют делать хорошие проекты.
And keeping a close eye on a plethora of realistic data will help give you the edge. From the finer details of how car parts affect
Формула 1, кстати, очень много
to a
фанатов.
track's expected grip level to the condition of your wind tunnel.
А ее вчера
How you
показывали.
analyze the data and
Я в
choose to
записи
spend your
смотрел вот эту вот,
resources
которая
will make or
презентация.
break your
Да, по-моему, там трейлер был.
You'll find depth and detail in abundance.
Ебать, там
Even
типа
down to real-world team radio
одних
messages
настроек
between
триллион.
drivers
Это
and
как Тарков
engineers.
и патроны.
Race commentary from
Я тебе говорю, это как в Гран Туризмо. Там тоже сидишь, просто ковыряешься в настройках. А катаешься там... Катаешься там еще минут 40, наверное. Там одна трасса, и там 19 миллионов кругов. И ты катаешься, катаешься. Я такое не очень люблю. Я хочу Моторшторм, блять, какой-нибудь новый. Или ремейк Flatout. О, Chivalry. Я уже качаю. Надеюсь, они не будут с геймпада геймплей сейчас показывать. Или какого-нибудь нуба.
And it brings players to an all-new desert theater of war, and best of all, brings us horses into Chivalry 2 in mounted combat. We want to thank our community for making the game the success that it's been so far, and if you haven't played it yet, now is the best time to check out Chivalry 2. Take a look at our new trailer that shows off the new update and its Nosian invasion.
This rebellion is at an end. The Agapians flee to their stronghold in the north. This land is mine! Now Denosia rises from the south.
Османская империя, кто-то.
Throw the dogs back into the desert.
Блин, на лошадях странно, конечно, выглядит, но прикольно. Вот разрушаемость какая обладал, ты это видел? О, слушай, нихуя.
Their city will fall. Their people will bleed. Their
Бля, мне кажется, ураганом так выглядит все. Ну это по-любому будет весело, так что... I'm in.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Sweet Bandits, live from Quebec City. Really glad to be here today for the PC Gaming
Sweet
Show.
Bandits.
We'll be showing the first trailer for our game, Deceive Inc. It's a multiplayer competitive spy game where you get to use social stealth, high-tech gadgets, and powerful spy abilities to try and get the upper hand. We've had the chance of working with Tripwire Presents on the project, so this is only the beginning. Please follow us on social media at Play Deceiving to learn more. We'll be releasing the game in early 2023 on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the trailer.
Ну давай.
Good afternoon, agents. Your mission is simple. Infiltrate the Frozen Coral Underwater Hotel and retrieve the blueprint of a powerful weapon. As you know,
А где игра от чата Фелижика? Там что-то типа вот это должно быть. Это не анализ еще?
Booyah! Ka-ching! Oh, come on. They can't be this fast.
And they thought it was secure. In the end, I am victorious.
They're really not gonna make it easy for me. Gotcha.
А, ну это что-то типа The Ship. Такая, типа мафии, по-моему. Но ты должен найти свою цель, а у твоей цели типа есть другая цель, так по кругу.
Target acquired. Moving to rendezvous point. All done.
Ясно.
Really?
А, ебать, это еще hide and seek вот такой. Ну, затея прикольная. Это нужно вот как раз играть где-то в Тимой, этим. Ну да, Тимой чувак. 10. DC Incorporated. Что-то такое слышно.
Let me ask you something. Do you ever have a reoccurring dream that you really wish would come true? I mean, mine personally involves a flight of unicorns and a Valkyrie army on Pegasuses, but you know, yours may be different, but you know, somehow I doubt it. This year, we've partnered with the PC builders at iBuyPower to bring a very different dream to life. My dream PC room. Unfortunately, there's bad news for me. I don't get to keep it. But very good news for one of you. We're going to be giving the entire contents of this room away to a lucky winner watching the show. So let's dive in and see what's up.
Пока нет.
The beating heart of any PC gaming dream room is of
Hardware.
so let's start.
Я жду арму, когда
As you can
покажут.
see, the mad geniuses at iBuyPower have built an absolute doozy. The first thing you'll notice is the Height Y60 case with its wraparound tempered glass panels. This thing is built from the ground up to display the sickest
Мне стал стать из-за даже виш-листей, если.
And let's face it, if you've managed to bag a serious graphics card in these dry times, you owe it to the Silicon gods to show
блять, я надеюсь на Gloomwood, сука. 3 года я уже жду.
But for this to be a true dream PC, we need more than just state-of-the-art drip. Luckily, the substance matches the style. So let's check out the guts of our dream PC, and trust me, there's plenty of power crammed in. The big question, though, is what pixel pusher iBuyPower has used, and you won't be disappointed with an overclocked RTX 3090 from Gigabyte, right? This 24GB monster of a GPU packs the cooling to stay chill and the power to smash through any game you throw at it.
На воздух затягивает.
The graphics card is
прямо
the
стенки.
MVP, but any superstar needs some
И выдувает ее прямо вниз.
fastest
Очень
gaming
неплохо.
CPU around, the Intel 5.5 GHz Core i9 12900KS with 32GB of DDR5 RAM and 2TB of seriously fast SSD storage, both from ADS.
А, я не слушал, не знаю. Наверное, просто рекламируют какую-нибудь хуйню.
Whew, that is a whole lot of PC. But Mika, you may greedily wonder, what about the peripherals? Well, animal lovers, we got you covered, because the Height Eclipse wireless headset comes in plush vegan leather trim with a 30-hour battery life and competition-grade 2.4 GHz connection. And you noisy typers are going to love the clicky-clacky mechanical keyboard that comes with it. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? RGB? Well, of course! The keyboard and mouse both light up like Atlantic City on a Saturday night.
Зачем на это акцент делать? Как будто сейчас есть какой-то гаджет без RGB, блядь.
Кстати, да, есть.
Есть. Ну, надо просто выключить, надо включить настройки.
Нет, как компы себе собираем время от времени. Но я на этом экономлю. Причем так прилично. Они у меня все равно типа внизу стоят, но я на них не пялюсь.
А я вот думал как раз, что сейчас никто не делает. Я думаю, нет смысла даже искать.
Не, делают. Причем дешевле.
Ну, это логично. Я просто стоит, он мне всю комнату освещает, но еще без света. Я такой, ну ладно, хоть какой-то плюс.
Ну вот видеокарты реально, типа, сейчас без подсветки их, мне кажется, не делают.
Ну, десктоп кастомный.
Ну да.
О, мы это видели. Ну что-нибудь новенькое. Ребята, что ж. Глумбу покажите, сука.
No one yet knows if you can kill a god. I, for one, intend to find out.
Не Валис еще хочу посмотреть. Симулятор строителя. Я себе. Это на страничке PC Gaming Show в Steam я смотрю. Agent 46. Spies Never что-то. Это, кстати, фестиваль демок в Стиме. Я бы накачал.
Hey PC Gaming Show, I'm Derek Bradley, the CEO of A44 Games and creative director of Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Flintlock is set in a world ruled by old gods, and so as humanity, you now have the power of black powder and bombs and flintlock rifles to finally overthrow the gods and take the world back. You'll play as Nor, a Blackstream sapper, one of the elite explosives experts of the Coalition forces. Nor herself has a where Nor brings firepower, her fox-like companion Enki brings magic to the battlefield. You will have to master a combination of axe combat and gunplay, while your companion Enki uses his magical powers to disrupt enemies. We can't wait to show you more of Flintlock before it's released next year. Head over to our socials for more info, and don't forget to wishlist now on Steam and Epic Game Store. Have a great show.
Подожди, я просто что сказал в Стиме? Демка в Стиме?
11-bit Studios, the creators of This War of Mine. Hear all about it in our exclusive interview. We'll also show you what's next for Outriders from Square Enix and People Can Fly.
Просто есть в Стиме.
Plus, if you look back on high school and think, you know, those 4 years would have been better if I was fighting literal demons, you're definitely going to want to study up on our next world-exclusive independent game inspired by the Persona series. Choke your health potions now because there is so much more PC Gaming Show coming your way. Before we go, the folks at Compass Data Centers have a little quiz for you. How much higher is 5G's data capacity compared to current 4G networks? Scan this QR code and answer the question for a chance to win $500 worth of stuff from Razer, or visit gaming.compassdatacenters.com. Okay, now back to the PC Gaming Show.
Ready to game the system? Meet Mana. You slay, you achieve, you win. So should your bank account, because your power shouldn't stop when the game does. Mana is the best gaming rewards debit card where you can earn perks and points by paying and playing, and get rewarded with the things you actually want, like that skin you can't wait to show off, or your next gear upgrade. So why pay any other way? Pay with Mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
So I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes. It's time to talk about The Alters, the brand new game from 11-bit Studios. The Warsaw-based studio made us cry in this War of Mine, make difficult choices in the face of climate apocalypse in Frostpunk, and battle encroaching corruption in Children of Morta. The Alters sent us to the deepest, darkest reaches of space, in a survival story that is guaranteed to give you an existential crisis, in a good way. This is a really big moment for this year's show. I can't wait. Let's take a look.
Давай.
Они так рекламируют, а потом хуйня какая-то выходит. И это настоящий прорыв, там хуё-моё.
Да не, вот это вот от 11-bit довольно все авторские такие проекты. Вот, графика. CGI, в смысле, конечно. Это хоррор видео. Ой, это же он. Шиза? Типа у персонажа Шиза? Или это все клоны какие-то? Альтерс? Блин, что это? Выглядит прикольно. Альтерс. Ну-ка.
Joining us now to talk about what we just saw all the way from Poland is Tomasz Kasilewicz of 11-Bit Studios. Welcome to the PC Gaming Show, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. We got clones, we got this huge wheel. Tell us, what did we just see?
Well, first of all, these guys were not exactly the clones. We saw
это не clones, это clowns. Извините.
Who are the alternative versions of the same person. And they are going through this distant alien planet in their mobile base, which was the wheel you saw at the end.
So what's the player's goal as they're progressing through the story?
So you are a space builder stranded on this distant planet, and your goal is to survive and find a way back home. But the thing is, in order to do so, you need to create those altars as
Бля, я прослушал. Какой-то жанр.
Different set of skills and character traits.
So
these are things necessary for your survival and finding a way back home.
So from the trailer, tonally this could be a horror, thriller, mystery. What should players expect?
Actually, there are bits of everything you mentioned. Like there is this mystery
Adventure, sci-fi story, rich survival.
The soul of the character. But what you find there can also be pretty scary. So there are those beats of psychological horror and drama. But then on top of it, we have this.
Игра будет на украинском, но не будет на русском.
I mean, how surreal would it be to one day, you know, wake up next to a little different alternative version of your very self?
Now, there's a quote that you shared with me earlier, that man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. How does this quote relate to the story?
Я бы геймплей.
So this quote, it
relates
directly to the main theme of our game. We as people, we are shaping ourselves every single day with every single decision that we are making. This process, the whole process of becoming who we are, it can be quite painful at times.
Это классический наёб CGI трейлером.
Jan, the main character, he has this possibility of not only shaping himself, but also
Просто я хотел бы, чтобы они после этого геймплей показали.
With every single altar that he is creating.
Do you see this as more of a classic sci-fi
Почему
story,
фиолетовый интерес?
like a Ray Bradbury,
Просто типа, чтобы глаз зацепился.
Well, it is very classic sci-fi in a way that we are taking a relatable topic and we are using the sci-fi theme, we are using the sci-fi setting to look at it through the magnifying lenses. But then when we're choosing the tools, this is a very contemporary game, and we're taking advantage of what video games are as a medium. So we're using tools like systematic design and non-linearity in order to put the players in the middle of the experience, and in the end, allow them to create their own stories inside the game.
Значит, и в игру неплохо залил. Куда единорога дели?
Whether there's any narrative or themes or even just influence that those games had on this one.
Well, The Alters is purely 100% our game, 11-bit Studios game, and it's created in line with our meaningful entertainment philosophy. So it's a game we hope that it will make you think even after you stop playing it. This War of Mine was this first milestone. It paved the way for all the future titles, and with Frostpunk it was taken to another level with the strong focus on the emergent narrative. And now with The Alters we want to follow the path, but we also really want to push the boundaries even further and expand on how we approach meaningful topics inside the design of our games.
Thanks so much again to Tomasz and the whole team at 11-bit Studios for joining us this year. And while I try to find enough Rapidium to make it through day 1 to 8, let's head on over to Mika Burton and keep things rolling like a massive space station.
Skateboard, yeah?
Honestly, I need to look into getting myself cloned so I can make time to play all of these awesome games we've seen so far. But I'm also like legitimately worried about having hand-to-hand combat when they steal my life, making me wonder if I was the clone all along. Is it really worth it for video games? Yeah, no, it's totally worth it for video games. Anyway, that's a problem for future Mika. Present Mika is much more interested in what you all have been saying about the show so far. So keep letting us know your thoughts by using hashtag PCGamingShow on all platforms. Now, let's get back to the real reason all here. Cloning. I mean video games. Video games.
Gloomwood мне дайте.
Alright, hold me.
Hold me.
Это показывали уже. Это мы на той, который смотрели.
Чё-то...
Был точно такой же трейлер.
Что это?
Я не помню.
Выглядит как Hack and Slash какой-то. У них у всех на этаже один и тот же удар, блядь. О, напоминает солистку Nightwish. Что? Чё? А, это Outriders. Чё ты? Точно. Ага, вот это. Я еще жду ту игру.
Я тоже показывал.
Да, эти были. А, нет, эту игру показывали на ТГА. Это, короче, симулятор алхимика, по-моему. Помнишь, игрушка была такая? Она, по-моему, Ark называлась. Ark Riders. В Steam. А, что-то ее нет на ПК Gaming Show. Там еще музычка какая-то такая веселенькая. Вот, я ее еще жду, что ее покажут здесь. От Embark. От Embark Studios. Ну, вряд ли она... Вряд ли она в этом году выйдет.
Sure, when TinyBuild lets you open your own medieval potion shop, you get hailed as a master alchemist. But when I do it, I get a sternly worded letter from my landlord about how my cauldron violates our lease agreement. Whatever, it's his loss. But more importantly, folks, we promise you the maximum amount of games humanly possible, and we aim to deliver quite literally.
Давай. Ну, раньше, что они сократили количество пиздежа. Ну, там между играми.
Или на этой конкретно?
Ну, вообще, на самом деле. Потому что... Вот если какой-нибудь...
Вот мы смотрели 2 или 3. Ну, мы смотрели 2. Ты, наверное, больше смотрел. Ну да, они буквально там, типа... Ой-ё-моё, и все, и сразу следующий ролик.
Просто еще где-то году в 19-м, 20-м они прям столько болтали, просто какую-то воду лили. 10 секунд
Ну да,
геймплея,
с
и опять...
разработчиком еще поговорить.
Ну это да. Я прям вообще затягивался очень. Но игрокам это мне не нравилось. Так, это как пошаговая штука идет.
Конфьюри.
Это Конфьюри?
Не знаю.
А,
я говорю, ну типа.
Ну это какая-то...
Еще и карточная какая-то.
Ну ладно. Ну круто. Стиль неплохой такой.
Вот это слышно только ясно.
Не, ну а чё? Это лорд, блин, кажется. Но Норланд. Нет, не Норланд. Ура, карты! Махакенши.
Planet Earth, our beautiful home. To protect it, we must reach out to explore the unknown. Our team of experts is presently probing the deep sea in a struggle against the yoke of overregulation. These security and defense innovations allow you to shrink any problem down to size. We surge forward, obliterating the enemies of progress, but we refuse to let these victories go to our heads. We are the future.
А, Killing Floor, ебать, второй.
А, Killing Floor, прикольно. Это DLC-шка, что ли?
А, да, как дополнение космическое-мутантское.
An exclusive briefing on what's next for one of PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale.
Arma 4. О,
Last
Arma.
month, developer Bohemia Interactive kicked things off by releasing
Сейчас,
Arma
наверное, Reforged пока, да.
on Steam in early access. This playable prototype will be a foundation for Arma 4.
Но говорят, она вообще очень мало к армии отношений, да, скорее всего, Flashpoint больше, чем Arma.
This is the series that helped birth the survival genre through DayZ. Oh, and also this other little niche genre you may have heard of called Battle Royale. To help us
Третья армия в 2013 году
this
вышла,
project,
просто
we've got
пиздец.
none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us. So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first, we've learned that players like Reforger a lot and they appreciate the work we put into it. We also realized they like modding a lot and they reviewed this as a key quality of our games. And we were very pleased by the reactions of both our community and the new players who
Изображение в зеркале заднего вида.
videos and praise of our new technology. So we are very glad that the reception was so good.
Какой-нибудь Stalker
So there's no doubt players who have been
не, даже
long-time fans
похуже.
of the franchise
Это
stand
именно
with Arma
Flashpoint
Reforger.
какой-то.
And I'm curious, what were some of the big challenges of rebuilding that specific Arma feel from the ground up in this brand new engine?
Well, it's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I'm myself very much on the very purist side of things. So no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers. And this fight can get very intense even in-house. So I'm the real Arma purist and I'm on this for 25 years now. So I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So there's always never-ending battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards. So do it our own way rather than replicating what's maybe normal in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our goal is to remain unique.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect if, say, they've been playing Arma 3 for years?
Our goals were, of course, to restart the series from a technological standpoint, really make room for some new achievements, utilize the technology which is state-of-the-art, both in terms of how it looks like, how it's controlled, how it can be modded.
It's important to understand it may look as a kind of normal game on the surface, but there is a big system behind it. So just the tool suite is a massive tool suite.
Ну вот это самая главная фича вообще армы. Если бы не комьюнити, арма бы не существовала, она даже до второй части, наверное, не дожила.
So we really need users to start using them to keep improving and continue building it.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have one quick question from the Arma fans. Has Russia's invasion of Ukraine impacted your approach to Arma 4 and Arma Reforger, a game that depicts the Cold War?
Well, yes, because it's extremely close to us. We even live in a way very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction was set before. But we always approach conflicts and armed conflicts with a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue in our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of an anti-war game. It's an entertainment product. That's fair, fair thing to admit. On the other hand, given the topic, given let's say, and our ambition to portray it as a very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people, but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and we have great potential, big responsibility in this era, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to
Вот вам два квадратика разноцветных. 40 секунд задержит. Ну ладно.
I mean, so many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games.
Я надеюсь, четвертая арма не будет на этом движке.
Now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people can easily digest how this is constructed in our Workbench tools. So unlike previously where it was more hard-coded in the C++ engine, so now they can check the data of every single element of the game and go much deeper than in previous games. So this will be super exciting.
Чел, пишите Fortress 2, когда? Спасите
Fortress 2. Я вижу, что актив был. Чего забанили за коммент Раша?
What expectations should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Надо проспамить актив тут. Ну, кстати, Дип когда-то выступал на PC Gaming Show. Ну, в смысле, он сам, что тот Valve был.
This time much more computations and intensive rendering things can be done directly on GPU.
Сейчас как минимум Steam Deck лежит на столе у этого чела.
Да, я не видел.
We know that there are problems, there are difficulties, but we are solving them one by one. We are really gathering community feedback and even our own definitely feedback. So we are moving things forward. And yeah, it's about optimization. It's not that much about FPS, but also for like network traffic, for instance. When you have this massive multiplayer game, it's a huge challenge. Server performance, of course, and all the technical things.
Да, игра очень сырая. Ну, в принципе, она только вышла.
Bohemia Interactive for giving us the inside scoop on both Arma Reforger and Arma 4. Now, you don't go anywhere because here is what's around the corner.
Just around the corner in the PC Gaming Show, prepare to experience terror ranging from the subaqueous to the subconscious with the latest from Shiro Games. Hold on to your butts because front-end development spared no expense on the new Jurassic World Evolution 2 expansion, and get your crowbars ready for Half-Life Alyx Levitation, a special project from some very talented modders. What would PC gaming be without you? While we're here, quick geography Рекламки немножко.
Most bandwidth for gaming. Answer this question for folks at Compass Data Centers, and it could win you a $500 Razer gift card. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter.
Last year, Shiro Games debuted War Tales at the PC Gaming Show, but the publisher has a lot more than its medieval sandbox RPG on the way. Up next, we'll hear what's up with Shiro's slate of projects, and stick around for the debut of 2 completely new games, Decarnation and Abyssals.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for the invitation, Mika. I'm James, and I can't wait to show you everything that we've got prepared for you today. So it's been a crazy couple of months for everyone here at Shiro Games, with Dune Spice Wars marking the most successful release in the history of the company, and it's entirely thanks to all of you. But today, let's look at Dune Spice Wars multiplayer mode. Up to 4 players can go head-to-head and free-for-all, 2v2, all work together in co-op against AI opponents. We're introducing new synergy systems between factions that will open a vast number of strategies to help you crush your opponents. Multiplayer will be available in Dune Spice Wars very soon. After 5 years and nearly 3 million units sold, Northgard's story finally continues. In a new chapter set shortly after the events of the first campaign, Ragnarok has decimated the lands of Northgard. Long-standing alliances have been broken. Violence and betrayal now plague the continent. Forced to depart what they once called home, our heroes arrive on unknown shores and find themselves confronted by unfamiliar faces in a dangerous new realm. This Northgard expansion arrives this winter. And for all of our War Tales players out there, Cooperative is finally coming to our open-world tactical RPG. You share food, gold, and camp with your friends. But you can split up to cover more ground. Before every fight, devise the perfect strategy to overcome any threats that may stand in your way. But be careful in your approach, as one wrong move may lead to your group's demise. It will allow you to play between 2 to 4 players. And it will be available this summer. So a few months ago we announced Shiro Unlimited, a new publishing label created by indies for indies, and we are very proud to announce 2 new titles coming from the Shiro Unlimited family.
It seemed like our last chance to start again, to escape Earth's devastation.
We used our limited resources to lay the foundations of a new life, deep below the waves of this strange new planet.
But soon, we realized it was not the dream world we had hoped for.
When faced against the darkness of the abyss, we found ourselves helpless.
Lost.
Isolated.
Abyssals. Ну, Abyss я знаю, Abyssals что такое. Наверное, во множественном числе. Abyssals.
Ну да, Abyssals, скорее всего.
Это может корпус пати какой-то новый. Хотя нет, не похоже. Блин, какая хуйня в топе продаж Steam, конечно, просто пиздец. Хорошо, что хоть Chivalry на первом месте. О, Postal. Не Postal. Аниме, карты какие-то.
You just saw why you were exactly right to be afraid of the ocean in Abyssals. And you confronted your inner demons in the retro dream horror of Decarnation. Next up, how do you rebuild a city in a world set after the collapse of civilization? Let's find out how by taking a look at I Am Future from tinyBuild.
О, tinyBuild. Это хорошие ребята. Что?
Слушай, не про тех челов, которые, блядь, на лодке плыли. Уже показывали.
Не. Тайни... это не Тайни Билд, по-моему. Да.
Warning. Hibernation aborted. Your total hibernation time was 6 years, 6 months, 5 days. Welcome to Eden, your new home.
I have no idea where the hell I am. But damn, this place is gorgeous.
Хотя вдруг она... Ну это, говорят, какой-то выживач, надо сказать. Не выживач, а вот что-то со стройкой связано. Типа, как вы будете отстраивать... I'm Future. Как вы будете отстраивать, типа, после... апокалипсиса. Вот я не бил так много игр про птичек. Ой, блядь. Нихуя себе. Что за кошмар? Пиздец, бедная чайка.
Our forefathers conquered Calderia and bestowed it upon us, a new generation, to share or spar over.
Our great houses seek to obtain the Emperor's favor, cultivating our lands and subjects to improve and enrich the realm, beginning with ourselves, of course.
Dominance can be secured through strength, as well as delicacy.
Will you be able to build your legacy of power?
Join the great houses of Calderia.
And now, for these next trailers,
it's
true. They do move in herds. That was so much. The thought process is simple. God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, man destroys God, man creates video games.
Скоро можно предзаказать.
But just be warned that one of these trailers might come as a bit of a shock to the system.
Я не знал. Скоро. Add to cart. Purchase for myself. А я говорю. А это новая часть? А, там DLC.
Да, DLC-шка. Знаешь, что это флейта, блядь, не в ноты, которые играют.
Сука.
PC Gamer.
О, это что там? Систем шок. Это что там? Систем шок. Она уже вот выходит. Как? Yeah!
Humanity is
Как же я жду.
I, Shodan, and its new god. Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat.
Нет, не висни. Нет! У тебя тоже?
Да.
Сука, нет!
Единственный трейлер, который ты хотел посмотреть.
Пауза, плей. Я все просмотрел. Да, блядь! Ну вот. У меня не грустно.
Да. Открываем комменты.
Ну ладно, хуй с ним. Хуй с ним. Все равно игра выходит через месяц, так что... И в демку я играл раза 3 уже. FPS пишет. Да нет. Ну-ка, Ctrl F5, может получится.
Сейф F2. Блять, чило хуярит.
Translate the experience of a game from 1994. 3 decades later to now, what doesn't carry over well?
The first thing is the graphics, obviously.
Save TF2, я тоже напишу.
But it was pretty primitive back then.
О, Спенсер. Ой, Спектр.
The user interface. If you look at when the game opened, the original, a help screen that came up.
Игра вышла, по-моему, в 90 каком-то бородатом году, и теперь делают ремейк охуенно.
Там внизу написано 94-й.
А, я просто на втором мониторе смотрю. Бля, ну она такая, сука, хорошая. Это, по-моему, самый первый Immersive Sim.
Of the impact that System Shock has had in terms of gameplay systems, in terms of narrative structure, on so many games that came after it.
I'm not sure people see the influence, which is a little unfortunate. But I think the rest of the world is going to get the chance now to experience it, and I think they'll see not just that they're having fun playing this game, but also see that other games followed in its footsteps.
Nowadays, we walk around with computers in our pockets. We're worried about the evil of algorithms. How do you think about a character like Shodan?
Shodan, да, сохранили голос. Shodan — это мать Гладис, короче.
And let's just hope that she doesn't show up as nasty a form as she did back in 1994.
Well, Warren, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us, and I want to let you know I cannot wait to return back to that world I played and enjoyed so much as a kid.
I can't wait to return to that world. I forgot right? Basically the fans know way more about the game than I do now, so it'll be a new experience for me too.
Thank you so much again, Warren Spector, for joining us to talk all things System Shock. I personally can't wait for the game.
А что у него такое в системнике стоит справа, два кулера? Это вот, это просто водянка?
Да, это водянка, просто...
Она неправильно стоит. Ну ладно, так его дело.
Ну, он радиатор дует.
Нет, там провода должны идти наверх, чтобы там пузырики воздуха не образовались. И жидкость поступала равномерно. Ну это так уж. Это для красоты. Так, System Shock, да. Где мой Gloomwood, сука? Пожалуйста, ну молю. Готов на колени с ним. Если еще и на Gloomwood зависит, я просто, блядь, выйду.
Бля, наверное, пиздец.
Ну ебать.
Пришел на свою презентацию.
Это у Твича проблема. Он любит так. О, это уже показывали. Только я не помню, что это. Это, по-моему, радуга для миллениалов, что типа того. А, System Shock 11-го... Подожди, нет. Когда ты выходишь, сука? Когда ты... О!
All right, gamers, good work. You've made it here to a site of grace. Or a bonfire, or a sculptor's idol, or a lamp. Make sure you're staying hydrated, replenish your potions, and most importantly, keep letting us know what games you're excited about using hashtag PCGamingShow. I mean, personally, I can't wait to play The Altars. Ah, good. Now that we're all rested up, feeling good, it's time to enjoy a slice of that lovely cyberpunk life, courtesy of Nivalis.
О, Nivalis?
Experience the
Это Nivalis должен
investigative
быть.
horror of immortality, the latest from the mind of Sam Barlow.
Sam Barlow.
I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Well, I don't want to spoil things too much.
Это Pure Story? Нет. Такое зеркальце прикольное.
Does this work as confession?
Ну да, это походу от разработчиков Pure Story.
Now it's worth more.
Did you ever read his diary?
И у него реснички. Детектив хоррор. Окей.
We can take a break. You should take a break. No, we can go.
Так, теперь Nivalis. О, вот он.
Hey, boss. Time to wake up. We got customers waiting.
На первое
What do
лицо.
you mean you don't know where to start? Let's clean this place up. Move some chairs and tables around. We can make this place shine again. If the weather gets bad, we can grow some veg in the greenhouse. Once we start making real money,
Да, он все
well,
время.
then you can rent
Только
that fancy new apartment in Midtown. So make friends, make enemies. If customers are rude, just turn on the old charm. Or water down their drinks. I'm not your conscience.
Может, игра не то, что я себе представлял.
To explore, to make stories, your stories. You ever look up at the clouds and
Мне
wonder
кажется.
what's up there? Well, if you dream big enough, maybe you'll find out. Maybe we all will. Welcome to Nivalis.
Ну, Nivalis я давно жду. Simulation, Cyberpunk, Life Sim, Immersive Sim.
I'm Roman. At Ironlands, we are big fans of cyberpunk fiction and games, but we have our own ideas of what a cyberpunk world can be. This is a game in which you manage your restaurant, bar, or nightclub, take care of your staff, make deals, farm, and experience the stories of the people you meet.
Or maybe you just want to take the day off and go fishing at the docks instead. Nivalis primarily uses voxel art for the environments. We spend lots of time creating a unique atmosphere with high levels of detail and dynamic elements.
We are excited about the cyberpunk world we're making, and we can't wait to see the choices you'll make.
От них ушел Cloudpunk. Вот про то, где я говорил. Симулятор курьера в Киберпанке на летающем автомобиле. Ну, в любом случае, посмотрим.
So with every quest you complete and every purchase you make, you're earning for the rewards you actually want. We make it easy for you to set up and start. Just sync your favorite games to your Mana account and start earning real-life rewards the next time you play. So why pay any other way? Pay with Mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs, because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with 3 Chrome tabs open.
И что? Угу. Угу. Gloomwood, можно, пожалуйста? Ну, короче, РТС-ка. Ну, это какое-то фэнтези, аниме, РТС-ка. Я думаю, такого фаната будет достаточно. Demon's School. А может, это Demon's Chew?
You just saw Demon's School. Welsh developer Isbrid Games. And now, it's time to take a bit of a spooky transition. If you're at home, turn on all the lights in the room, make sure the salt circle is unbroken, and check to see that your door is properly painted with sacrificial lamb's blood, because things are about to get certifiably terrifying. Let's look at the H.R. Giger-inspired biopunk horror, Scorn.
Desolate and decay.
Ну, Scorn я только что купил, я хочу голову.
Of macabre perception. Greetings. I'm your host, Doug Bradley. And I invite you to join me as we explore Scorn's mesmerizing labyrinth of odd forms and somber tapestries.
Надо нам с тобой как-нибудь пройти кооперативную игрушку по чужому. Должно быть весело. Она такая. Такая.
An industrial civilization now lying in decay and ruin. A hidden fauna sleeps within the underbelly of the world, wanting nothing more than to be left undisturbed. Scorn has been carefully crafted with great attention to detail. Everything is focused on building a specific atmosphere. From a unique organic ecosystem to an unsettling soundscape created by Ethek and Lustmord. Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment, discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice. Deadly. I hope you've enjoyed this world of Scorn.
Так.
The team at Ebb Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets of this unique world as you experience Scorn firsthand this October.
Неужели она выходит? Ну это просто невероятно.
To unravel your inner self within Scorn's world of horror.
Круто.
Now, while I've been delightedly playing Dune Spice Wars, harvesting melange, and trying to figure out how to pronounce Kwisatz Haderach, it doesn't matter, I'm equally ready to turn hordes of Tyranids into a Jackson Pollock painting in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. In this brutal third-person shooter, you once again step into the oversized power armor of Titus, an elite Primaris Space Marine in a galaxy immersed. To take us further inside the grimdark, I am joined by Tim Willits and Oliver Hollis, the creative director, on Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. First of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Now, Tim, I want to start with you. You previously worked at id Software on Doom. how would you say the Space Marine compares to Doomguy?
That is a good question. I bet many people did not know that the original Doomguy was actually a Space Marine, inspired by an even older Space Marine, which is the Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines. So, you know, it's really exciting for me to work on Space Marine 2, you know, because it's a great franchise, and I know that it's inspired so many other video games throughout the last 25, 30 years.
Oh, absolutely. And there's so much lore to sift through. And I think this brings us to talk a little bit about the new Space Marine that you're going to get to play, a Primaris Space Marine. Oliver, talk to us a little bit about Captain Titus and what makes this class of Space Marine different from the others in the universe.
So the Space Marine is a brainchild of the Emperor, the kind of leader of this of humanity in the grim dark future. He saw the dangers that the universe presented, and he created a super soldier from his own DNA.
А мы, по-моему, такие рядовые совсем. Я вообще не смекаю во вселенной Вахи, но, насколько я знаю, мы типа совсем такие ложки.
The Emperor's kind of chief scientist, went back, did some digging in the old data, and found a way to enhance the qualities that a Space Marine has by installing new devices, new kind of bio implants in their body. So now these guys are 2.5 meter tall monsters capable of destroying anything in their path.
It's reminding me of the 1,000 times I have rewatched the Astartes animation.
That's amazing.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting that we now get to be in that position to play that kind of character. And in the trailer, we saw a lot of Tyranids. Are they the main enemy that you're going to be against? And if so, what makes them such a compelling foe?
In this particular game, the Tyranids are the main focus.
Он против этих сражались, по-моему, нет?
Хороший вопрос. По-моему,
вот эти, которые все время выпрыгивали, помнишь?
Самые рядовые такие. Блин. Может быть. Их там на самом деле там по лору, я не представляю, там кого только нет нахуй. Там, это же еще Warhammer 40к, типа, а есть еще Vermintide, который типа в средневековье. Это же вот как раз 40к, это спустя 40 тысяч лет после того средневековья, который происходит, так что там... Не лезь, сука, дебил!
So the combat in Space Marine 2 is a mix
of
in-your-face melee combat, along with some really cool.
Ну да, прикольно, чисто гири только по Вахе. А гири очень крутые.
You know, the original Space Marine game, where it had a lot of this push forward combat, which has inspired many other video games, but that never stop, never take cover combat is integral to Space Marine 2, along with, you know,
у него, по-моему, очки от солнцезащиты такие. У него фиолетовые были.
From the back of the battlefield. It's the best of both worlds.
Прикольно, глаза такие фиолетовые.
Terrific. And I mean, I know you guys are huge fans of the 40K lore, so I'm curious about, in working on this project, what's been the most fun seeing come together, and what's Saber Interactive focusing on right now?
Right at the beginning of the project, Tim and I went to the Warhammer Museum, which was an incredible experience. And you go around all these cabinets where these incredible miniatures that have been painted by these masters are arranged in these dioramas.
Да. Это очень популярная тема у фанатов. Они вот раскрашивают, сначала собирают их человечек, потом раскрашивают вручную, и там куча диорамов таких создают. Это прям очень жестко. Прикольно. Жаль, у меня руки кривые, я тоже этим занимался. Не, ну там реально, там просто пиздец. Там очень мелко эта коробка.
Even more so, when you're wielding one of those massive weapons and you're faced with 1,000 Tyranids who all want to eat you alive, and you're just letting rip and you can see shell casings bursting out of these massive weapons one after another. The sound, the gameplay, the way it feels is all designed to make you feel like the most powerful warrior in the universe.
Well, perfect. That answers everything. Thank you so much, Tim and Oliver from Saber Interactive, for joining us. I can't wait. Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S soon. Now next, we have up the sleeves of our proverbial power armor. First, Replicant D6's homage to the golden days, or should I say, golden eyes of 90s console shooters, and an atmospheric sci-fi adventure on the Red Planet from Frontier Developments and Kyoken Interactive. Let's take a look.
О, это 64, что-то там 64. Ну, короче, это GoldenEye, если ты знаешь такую. Один из самых популярных шутеров начала 90-х. А это, походу, его якобы ремейк. Или переосмысление.
GoldenEye Джеймс Бонд?
Да-да-да. Это Agent 46. 64. Spies Never Die называется, да-да-да. Подзаголовок. Ну прикольно, вот реально омаж такой вот к этому GoldenEye. То есть графика нарочито такая, то есть это не низкий бюджет. О! Ну это мукачано. Красная планета это что? Invincible опять?
This is Kathy. Can you hear me? Please come in.
Это тоже показывали.
Bring the Arks and their revolutionary technology back home.
Here we go, Opera Team. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
I need to know that when we get there, you'll make the right decisions.
Ой, а что это не фигура нормальная? Почему не жируха? Не буду покупать.
Может, она черная?
И без рэпа еще. Блять, не по одному пункту, Антох.
Я считаю, что нужно петицию создать какую-нибудь.
Да. Сделать ее черной, жирной и рэп.
Или с бухой. Не, она будет рэп про лесбойские отношения.
Hi, my name's Elise Chappell, and I play Kathy Johansson in the out-of-this-world sci-fi epic Deliver Us Mars. Join Kathy and the crew of the Zephyr on an unmissable adventure as they journey to the Red Planet to recover technology vital to the survival of Earth and humankind. Deliver Us Mars is set to land on September 27th and is available to pre-order now on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Games Store.
Ладно.
Stay a while and listen.
Так, что там?
To this list of games still to come, the team behind Half-Life Alyx Levitation will put their mod where their mouth is, and then
это очень крутой глобальный мод.
Us creating an actual time paradox. We're going to show you the latest from Victoria 3.
Стратегия.
You can literally scare your entire butt off with the creeping horror of Gloomwood.
Неужели? Наконец новый геймплей.
In just a moment, but first, a final pop quiz for all you Valorant, CSGO, and League of Legends players. How much has esports revenue increased since 2016? Compass Data Centers wants to hear your guess, and you can scan this QR code on the screen for a chance to win a $500 Razer gift card. Visit gaming.compassdatacenters.com to enter. Alright, and now, back to the show.
Up next, we're going to take a look at Stormgate, the highly anticipated real-time strategy game from Frost Giant. Then our resident RTS addict is going to sit down with some of the game developers to ask the hard-hitting questions like, when can we play this already?
Это уже нам показывали.
Frost Giant, да, что-то помню. StarCraft 2 и Warcraft 3. Так это StarCraft 3. Да, Stormgate. Джефф с кем-то еще разговаривал. Разработчик.
Together, we've been fortunate to work on some of the greatest RTS games of all time, and now we have a chance to do it again by creating the next evolution of that legacy. Today, we are so excited to share a first glimpse of Stormgate, an exclusive sneak peek into the universe and game that we've been creating for you. Stormgate takes place in an all-new post-apocalyptic setting where science fiction and fantasy collide. Our story begins hundreds of years in Earth's future, following the near extinction of humanity. This great calamity was caused by the Infernal Host, a playable alien race of demonic invaders that are hell-bent on claiming this planet as their own. With our story, we are creating an ever-expanding game universe, told through an ongoing series of campaign missions that you can play solo or cooperatively. New chapters will come out.
Да, это который щит вот этот собрала, кристалл ставила и
щит собрала. Да, это какая-то египетская, да, вот она.
In addition to campaign missions, we're building a world-class competitive experience with grassroots and professional tournaments accessible from directly within the game. There will be different leagues suitable for all levels of experience. In our new 3-player co-op versus AI mode, you'll level up your heroes, collect rewards, and customize your forces to open up new styles of gameplay and long-term variety. Stormgate will be free to play, but not pay to win, and there will be no NFTs. Beta testing starts next year, and you can sign up now to reserve your place in line at playstormgate.com.
You might happen to know that I'm a huge fan of real-time strategy games. StarCraft is my favorite game. I played it for 25 years. I still play it, and that's why I am so thrilled today to be talking to Frost Giant Studios. They're a group of amazing developers who have worked on literally my favorite games of all time. And we're here to talk about their brand new, free-to-play, real-time strategy game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth. It's Stormgate. And here to talk about it is the CEO and production director at Frost Giant, Tim Morton. Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you so much for having me here.
I want to know about the world. I want to know about the game.
Они что же в одной комнате даже находятся?
All right, this is our first game as a new studio, and it is classic real-time strategy, but designed to be more social. We build the game in a universe that ties everything together, but provide different kinds of experiences for players who like different kinds of gameplay. So we've got cooperative campaign
Вы играете за малолетних дебилов,
but if you're somebody who enjoys competition, we've got one versus one high skill competitive. Those are very different ways to play in some ways, but they're also all unified by the universe, by the races, by the units. So you really get a sense for how to enjoy the game.
And I'm curious a little bit about that core gameplay, because obviously in all these modes you're going to be collecting money, building bases, building units, and so on. And I know that for you, the game feeling really good and really smooth to play is super important. Now, obviously, I come from a time where if the pathfinding is bad, we call that high skill opportunity. But I mean, how do you think about getting...
А геймплей показывали? Я чуть не смотрел. Опять они катсценки.
It's interesting that RTS is one of the only genres I can think of where you have to have hundreds, even thousands of minutes synchronized over the network and responsive in a way that high-skill, like pro esports players feel good about. That's not easy. It does require custom technology. There's no engine that you buy off the shelf that does that for you. So we definitely started knowing that and having the benefit of our chief architect, James Anhalt, who did that work previously on StarCraft 2. So we've put a lot of effort into that, for sure.
And this is going to be one of the first major RTSs people are aware of that is on Unreal Engine 5. What is it like working in this next generation engine?
It's pretty incredible how far things have come from a graphics perspective, and I think the art team is unlocked in so many ways by what Unreal provides. So we're very excited. We're still learning everything that Unreal can do for us, but even that first cinematic that we debuted, like, that's done in Unreal. So the high quality graphics coming from Unreal as an engine.
So you've talked a little bit about
И ray tracing,
the game feel a little more approachable, a little bit more streamlined, but obviously StarCraft, real-time strategy, has this astonishingly long history as a competitive game, as an esport. And I'm curious, how is your team going to approach that?
So a lot of the emphasis around our thinking has been focused on what are things that we can add, especially around the gameplay experience. And one of those things is more seamless integration with esports. I mean, being able to sign up, participate in tournaments directly from the client in a way that gives players, even if you're not like top grandmaster, ready to take on Cyril, there's still an opportunity to be the best on your block or the best at your company or the best at your school. So we want to facilitate esports all the way from grassroots level up to the pro level directly in the client.
So, of course, in the history of RTS games, a really important component of them has always been mods. I mean, Warcraft 3, there's players that didn't even play the original game. They just did custom mode after custom mode. Does Stormgate have modding? How are you thinking about the modding community?
A number of members of the Frost Giant team actually came out of the modding community. The team as a whole is very passionate about it. From the outset, we started out applying resources to build a custom editor. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make improvements to the editing experience for RTS. We are also working on the infrastructure for people to be able to share their mods with each other. So it's really core to us as a team to enable modding, and we're absolutely working on it.
А это чел, который съебался от Близов и теперь делает Stormgate свои, да? Что такое говорили? Нет, там вначале писали типа о создателе StarCraft 2 и Warcraft 3, а потом что это? Там просто утечка жесткая у них была кадров. Я думал, еще год назад.
На фоне всяких этих такого.
Да.
Харассмент сексуальный.
I'm personally super pumped to play it, and be sure to check it out at playstormgate.com. Now, Tim, I'm going to do a transition to the next game. Are you ready? This is going to be good. Watch this. It's going to be so sick. Next, we're going to show you Leysara, Summit Kingdom from Quite OK Games. Now, as someone who has spent a medically inadvisable amount of time playing strategy games of all sorts, this looks incredibly up my alley. And it looks a lot safer than my last attempt to create society in the mountains. 2 words, Tim, yodeling accident. Let's check it out.
Нет. О. Уже 1,5 часа идет, значит, 2 будет идти. Ну да, ведь градостроительных симуляторов так мало. И это, наверное, кардинально отличается от предыдущих чем-то. Сейчас просто все так перемешали всякие эпохи, жанры, что с одной стороны и отличаются вроде друг от друга, с другой стороны ты строишь город, блять. Ну, выглядит красиво тут концепт. Так.
That was Frozen Flame, an open-world survival RPG from Dreamside Interactive, where you'll embark on a fantasy adventure in a world reshaped by a magical calamity. A cursed land full of environmental hazards and massive monsters doesn't sound like the kind of place you'd want to build a cozy home with your friends, but instead you'll be raising fortresses and trying to tame the world, eventually growing tough enough to tackle the citadel that looms over everything and break the curse. Or you'll end up in the belly of a monster. Still kind of cozy. The demo for Frozen Flame was released just before the show, so you can jump in or grab some co-op buddies and see how long you can survive for right now. And keep an eye out for the early access launch later this year.
Фига ты углядел. Засмотрелся на компьютер.
Да. Я смотрю, ну-ка, вертушки не крутятся дома, ну, значит.
Значит, суфлер сломал.
Не нагружено.
Then you would hear by the sounds of the Victorian age that the world changed forever. The roar of the engines, the
это от парадоксов.
and the cries in the streets
Victoria 3 или
calling out
как-то
for revolution. In Victoria 3, we simulate this era 100 years, starting in 1836.
Градостроитель, неужто?
Да нет, это, по-моему... Ну что, типа Циву вроде. Или Хой, я не помню.
They are the beating heart of your nation and form powerful groups with needs.
Мне эта эпоха нравится, особенно в Америке.
Listen to their cause and let it influence reform, or turn a deaf ear to protect what is proven and stable. Your politics will decide where you want to go, but your economy, how far you'll come. Taxes, production, trade, and construction. Play these cards right, and you can harness the Industrial Revolution to turn your cities into titans. This is the engine you will need on the global stage. Use pacts, threats, and bluffs to secure your place in the sun. Anything done by war can be achieved with diplomacy. But you can decide when push comes to shove. Here you write the story, and over time, the history of your world will be carved into the map. What will your society be like? What is the sound that will echo over continents and be heard over the noise of time as you create your grand tomorrow?
Что-то Украины на карте не увидел.
That was the gameplay debut of Victoria 3 from Paradox Interactive, a grand strategy game coming later this year. And let us take this moment to let you know you can wish us Victoria 3 by visiting the PC Gaming Show event page on Steam, where you'll be able to find every game featured in today's show. Type pcgamer.com/wishlist into your browser to be taken straight to there. And now on with the show.
О, New Blood. Сейчас будет Gloomwood. О, это... Как же она... Что-то там... Эйс. Во-во. Как же она, блядь. Амидывал пиздатый, кстати. Они делают очень олдскульные игры, в том числе и Gloomwood. Такой вот тот же омаж на игры с PS1. И там ранних... Нет, середины там 90-х. Середины конца 90-х. Ультра Кио очень крутая игра. Это, кстати, одна из самых мега оцененных игр в Steam. Я помню, 99,8 положительных отзывов. Это прикольно. Вот, Fallen Aces, да. Это очень прикольная такая иммерсивная игрушка. Dusk очень пиздатая. Прям нереально, там такой метал, ебать. Я каждый Хэллоуин в нее играю.
What's up, PC gamers? We're back.
Давай, Gloomwoodик мне сюда, давай. Сука, если упадет стрим, блядь. Я не знаю. Да побачили, блядь. Подожди, Dusk HD, что? Fallen Aces хочу.
And we're still not ready to talk about those
Это
games.
что?
But I want to let you know that yes, we're still working on a top-down shooter. Yes, we're still working on a Fallout-style RPG, my dream game.
Я ее помню.
And yes, we're still working on a car combat game. But we're not ready to talk about
что-то
those
типа
games
Twisted Metal.
just yet. What I want to talk about is Gloomwood.
Да!
2 years ago, y'all straight up forgot to show the Gloomwood trailer. Last year, you bumped me so Gabe Newell could talk about a bunch of demos or some shit. This year, PC Gamer, you promised we would get to show Gloomwood, so I don't want to hear any bullshit.
Когда игра выйдет, ты заебал.
Steam Deck. Powerful, portable PC gaming.
PC Gamer, you see this puppy?
Я вижу писюн собачий. Убери.
If you don't let us show Gloomwood, I am going to drown this adorable... I would never do that. Hi, I love you. So yeah, we good?
No.
Can we show Gloomwood? Are you sure? Well, all right. It's about time.
Давай.
Бля, она сейчас позависла на секунду.
Не надо. Викторианский иммерсив сим с хоррор-элементами. Там есть одна вот локация в канализации, блять, там такой нахуй ужас. Крипово. Ебать, это что? Это пока что лучший Immersive Sim после Prey, который я играл. Без шуток. И они переработали инвентарь, нихуя себе. Ты чё, все? Early Access. Нет, она будет Early Access, да камон. 3 года, и она еще в Early Access. Бля, я хотел полный проект. А можно попробовать, чтобы его показать, нахуй? Ну за 3 года-то, сука.
We have a group of such games that run the gamut from medieval mayhem to an adorable animal fight club. And our first rule, we absolutely plan to talk about it.
Это вот я ждал, да? Ну ладно.
Ты ждался?
2 минуты.
Corrupted what? Why is it always doing this just when I need to showcase the game? Okay, I'm gonna take that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes, I have.
The update to System 10.1.1 will provide a clean sorting of all your files and ensure that situations like this won't ever happen.
Oh, no, nobody's updating me. That's the thing. Nope, haha, thank you, but we'll pass. Okay, so I do have a backup of the trailer. While I go rummage into the bin for it, please welcome my personal assistant. That will do a great job at pitching the game for you. Talk about how cool I am in the story and how funny and witty. You know, just talk about me.
Что?
Found it. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, the trailer. Okay, who had the amazing idea to save the trailer backup in 14.4 pixels? Do we have any ants working for us? What?
Gameplay это был?
Survival of thy noble family depends on their
вот он. Эта игра называется Norland. Откуда я знаю, спросишь ты? А я увидел ее на странице Steam. Спать голышом я тоже приглашен.
С бородатым королем, да?
Ну, может, и с женщиной. Это, походу, что-то типа Римворлда, да? Ну, ладно.
I don't know what you're up to, fuzzball, but back off!
А, это пони файтинг. Ебать, да ну нахуй. Или как он там? Ну это файтинг про пони, как называется, я не знаю. Хиро, что-то там. Ну, пошло. Core Keeper. Quest Engine какая-то игра.
That was the latest DLC for Core Keeper, the sandbox survival sim from Fireshine Games and Pugstorm. The Sunken Sea Biome update is available on June 15th for all Core Keeper players. Now we have even more twists and turns and trailers, so press enter to continue. Did you press it? I'm gonna go ahead and assume you pressed it. No, but seriously, press it.
Sure.
Life can be harsh everywhere. But in the old world, there was no hope of it ever improving. When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share, leaving our children to starve. And if we had any coin to our name, the taxman would appear, demanding you for the crown. The nobles hid behind the safety of their walls and did nothing when raiders pillaged the outskirts of the city. And so, some of us decided that it was time to leave, that we'd rather take our chances in the wilderness, seeking the promise of a new land, than starve to death in our homeland. We lost many along the way. This wild, unsettled land offers us the hope of a new start as the masters of our own destiny.
За жанр не помню.
What is below is destined to be understood. Our life depends on the whims of the weather. Our life is tied to this earth.
Бля, всю жопу остудил.
The water we harvest, the plants we grow.
Постою-ка я, пожалуй.
Any waste would be fatal to our survival.
We must learn to live in harmony with this world. For too long, we have wandered without purpose. From now on, our city will be a source of hope.
У меня такая лапа на вебке словно с щупальца. Да, блядь, ну.
To understand our world, we must explore it.
We must find the tablets. The seeds of knowledge that bind all the elements together.
Что за жанр тоже не понятно.
To build our survival.
Да, это они.
To build
вот
our
это?
city.
Да.
To live happily.
Ну, построить город.
А, да?
Да, да.
Блять.
Они же показали кусочек геймплея.
А я проглядел. Жопу разминал.
Понял.
Welcome to Icarus, Prospector. The planet we almost lost, then found a reason to stay. Take it from me. This place wants you dead. But we've made progress. Learned the lay of the land. How to use Icarus to our advantage. Our friends at the UDA are offering up a slice, a whole new terrain. If you learn, build, and survive, maybe, just maybe, there's a future here.
Yeah.
Think you got what it takes?
А, Икарус. Я про него слышал. От каких-то разработчиков популярной игры. Ну, тоже выживач.
In the rich tapestry of the PC gaming community, modders are one of the most inspiring subcultures. In fact, some of the most popular genres today started as PC gaming mods. Right now, modders Sean FMP1 Snelling and Corey Latto are making something incredibly special in the form of an ambitious mod for Half-Life Alyx. It's called Levitation. It's an original 4 to 5 hour campaign that builds on Valve's original VR game, Half-Life Alyx. With Alyx searching for a pair of rebels gone rogue, they've discovered a strange floating building in Sector X and decided to investigate it, against orders, obviously, and now it's your turn. Let's go back to the world of Gordon, G-Man, and Alyx with this exclusive gameplay footage.
Gordon.
Alyx, according to this old Resistance map, there's a control room somewhere outside the building you're in. Sorry if that's vague, the map was drawn using somebody's blood.
Ой, нет, ненавижу. Нет, я не смотрю. Фу, блядь.
Че, напрыгивали на тебя?
Я ненавижу ядовитых пауков. Это самый страшный, блядь, страх в моей жизни. Фу, блядь, на! Ну, пока что это просто хороший мод для Half-Life Alyx. Больше этого не надо. Еще, кстати, один из самых крутых модов, который я видел, это создали для Alyx Rapture из Bioshock. Очень классно выглядит. Чуть я устал стоять.
Alyx, I'm detecting an incredibly large energy signature up ahead. It's probably Gordon Freeman, and not anything bad at all.
Ah, да?
Definitely, probably Gordon Freeman.
Может, они новую механику какую-нибудь заменят?
Okay, so the plan is to get to that control room and get Gordon. Oh boy.
Что за мужчина работает?
Почему?
Ты пальшь. Если Wire 2 был только застрелить будет. Я сейчас заниматься был.
Getting kind of crowded down here, Russ.
Что-то какие-то скудные звуки и эффекты. Что-то я не помню такого, когда подходил. Может, это кастом автор запилил? Да, звуки проебались. По бочкам не стреляем, говорит.
Ну да, возле двух бочек пробежал.
Они нам нужны.
Может, шлем надо надеть, я свой.
Что за звуки? Это турели, по-моему, такие звуки издают. Рукопашка, монтировка, давай.
Ой, сортир.
Да, я тоже там прятался. Ну еще баг был, они просто мимо пробегали только на это. Где он? Где? А я просто стою, лицом к лицом стою, смотрим друг на друга. Такие, блять, ушел. Там что, в туалетах может что-то быть? Да-да-да. Чиночки. Битбокс. Не, ну какой-нибудь поинтереснее фрагмент был бы. Вот там Страйдер заорал. А то какая-то стройка. А то вот как у Алекс, когда... А, не буду я спойлерить, конечно. Это пример есть. Бочку, стреляй, ну. Еще одна.
Так он этому челу оставляет.
Не, ну...
Или ты болеешь из-за этого?
Ну да.
Здорово, я понял.
Ну там типа... Сколько она? Раз, два, три. А, ну одну она бросила. Ну 4 бочки точно побежали. Побежала. Ну, вот если бы я не видел предыдущий геймплей, я бы не стал на это внимание обращать. Как-то унылик.
Well, folks, this is the end.
Oh.
We've learned a lot today about ourselves, about computers, about genetically engineered space marines. And with so many games on the way, there has truly never been a better time to be part of the PC gaming community.
Не, хорошо было, хорошо.
We saw games from developers all over the world, and we wanted to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the show.
Я думаю, если бы я смотрел один, я бы уснул. Так, Levitation нет в Steam, есть зато Half-Life Alyx. Вряд ли они мод стали добавлять. Может, мод плат? А, нет, это же на движке Alyx. А у нас еще, знаешь, что можно посмотреть? 14 числа. 14 числа, пока-пока, будет в час ночи Capcom. Покажут Resident, покажут VR, всякую вот эту хуйню. Может, еще какую-нибудь новую игру. Ну, в смысле, может, там какой-нибудь, не знаю, Devil May Cry 8, блядь. И в 8 вечера, 14 числа, еще будет Xbox Game Showcase, но я думаю, там просто покажут расширенный геймплей игр, которые уже видели. Но так, если мало ли что, если у тебя там время свободное, то можно тоже поглядеть. Но в час
ночи вообще изи.
Да, в час ночи 14 числа я точно хочу посмотреть на геймплей Resident 4. Там блуперсы показывают, да?
Да.
14 часов это вообще какой день? А, это вторник?
Вторник.
Завтра. Там буквально 30, наверное, будет. Может, 45. Я хочу блуперсы посмотреть. Бля, хочу сникерс. Сейчас пойду сожру. Ебать, у меня мешки под глазами. Охуеть. Надо поспать часов 20, наверное.
The 5.5 gigahertz Core i9 12900KS with a 32 gigabyte
Запомнил.
DDR. I was doing so well. Ah, God, there were so many numbers all at once.
Game reveals to share with you, which can only mean one thing. It's countdown time. There's a LaCroix burp. It's very close to the surface. It's not a heart attack, it's just a burp. All right, I'm going to do the take. It's gonna happen, maybe.
I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with more than 3 Chrome tabs open. If you're gaming character in with a seatbelt, then strap in because this next trailer goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And I just got off the phone with my doctor and he was like, exclusive gameplay levels are critically low. And I want to fix that like immediately. I had no idea where we were going. It's the first time I'd seen any of those words, but I just kept pushing it. There's no break. I just kept going. I was like, this is the most this read is insane. I was like, crying. I don't know why I'm this way. But that's what I decided to do, and I'm sticking to it.
Клэп. Не, ну нормально. Тебе как?
Да, отлично посидели.
Неплохо. Мне, конечно, Глумбуда хотел бы побольше. Ну, что поделать, блин. Хорошо. Скоро,
вот,
чего
первая сегодня была презентация, но, конечно, это не было на проекты.
Я забыл, что первый был. Xbox, ты про это?
Да.
Ну да, ну понятное дело. Это так, чисто основные дни, закрывающие обычную презентацию. Она там показывает их чисто для... Что-то мне так закликается уже. Чисто для ПК игрушки, дополнительный геймплей и в основном даты релизов игр показывают. Там по Starfield еще новости вышли. Можно посмотреть. Так, надо остановить запись. Даже не упал стрим сегодня жестко. И сразу онлайн с 30 тысяч до 20 упал. Так. Что-то Что-то я устал даже. Не молодею. Ну шо?